Hey YouTube, it's Mr. Dodo8449 here. Today I'm doing a little bit of video. Basically it's a layout tour. I haven't done one of these in a little while. I had to look back at my channel at work and realised that most of the work I've been doing has been on this area in front of us. So any of my later subscribers wouldn't have seen the original part of track basically the stuff that's behind me at the moment. So I'm just going to do a quick layout tour, brief description of what's happening there and so on. So I'm starting off over here. This is the area I've been working on quite a lot. It's a village scene. Very simple, two houses at the back, just a road going down the middle. There's space for one more something. I might do a park or a corner of a shop or something like that. And just in front of that space is the signal box. That one there was one of the first buildings and bit of scenery I did on the layout. I think that looks quite good. So I'm just going to spin the camera around slightly. This area you can now see is all of the sidings. The top two are for engines. Then the next two are for wagons and coaches. And then the final two at the top are for whatever. Not really specific about that one. Then I've got the work around the gantry crane, which is a green thing going across. I've got to finish off that for the moment. And that there's just so things can get moved from loco wagons to lorries. So that is sitting around there. So I'll come back and show you a bit closer now. You can now see the lake, which I did a few videos back. If you want to check that out, just look at my channel, and it's sort of a few videos down. This area here is obviously the station, 2-track, all built myself, other than the black railings. But you've seen quite a lot of that recently, as this is sort of the area I've been working on. And finally, is the area right close to us, or right close to me, which is the coaling station, water station as well, and moving on to some maintenance yards and things like that. So what's happening around here? Well, I'm going to finish off this one, so I'm still waiting on black paint. I just haven't been able to get into town to buy any recently. I'm going to be making a car park just behind the station building. Then once that's down, I can basically finish that area and I can move on to something else. Moving up at the back, I'm planning on putting at the very middle top of the screen, that grey board you can see. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there, but I might put a sort of like a very small shed on the middle of those 3 tracks. But I'll have to have a look at that for later on. But anyway, that's coming on in later updates. So moving around on the bridge, it's not really a bridge. My original idea was to build a bridge there. But I changed my mind and realised I'm just going to make it into very simple static grass on either side and a track down the middle, as making a bridge on a curve is quite complicated, and I think that looks absolutely fine like that. I'll be putting some black cloth underneath it so you can't see straight through where the glue is, but anyway, yeah. So moving on to this area, this is my turntable, as you can see. Then you've got the track coming from the station in the middle, and the very top track is part of my very first design for the layout. But after a few problems with that, I cut the track, altered the design slightly, and I might at a later date carry on with that piece of track that you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. Just that free bit of track there. I might extend that to the other side of the layout, but we'll have to see how that goes for later, as I said, later date. Now, turntable, there's 6 tracks there. They'll all be able to be switched on and off independently, so I'll be able to store trains on there all the time, and the track won't be live or anything like that, which will be handy. The turntable, as I mentioned a couple of videos back, is I've forgotten if it was Airfix or Pico plastic kit that I built together. I then discovered a way of making it live, so you can drive a train on and off. Which I thought was quite a good idea. You still have to manually push it around, but at least you don't have to push the locos on and off. So moving around again, this is where my shadow is going to ruin it, if I bend down a bit. Right, now this is the original part of the station, which I don't think many people will have seen. Sorry about the shadow, I'll try and get my hand out of the way in a minute. Yeah, this is the original part of the layout, which used to be in my bedroom windowsill. Yeah, if people are interested in this, go right back to about the 10th video in or something of my channel, and you'll find that I call one my layout or something like that, my layout part 1, and you'll see me doing the design for that, and again, that's all on my channel. But what you can see at the moment is just a goods shed. I can store 4 wagons on there. I'm talking about the back track. Then coming along, there's two stations. I'll be doing a tutorial on how I built these stations, as I've forgotten who it was. I apologise for that. Asked me a little while back, can you do a tutorial about how I build these stations? I'm assuming they're talking about these ones. If I've got that wrong, then just leave a comment. I apologise again, I've just forgotten what your username was. If I'm talking about the wrong stations, then just leave a comment and I'll show you how I did the other ones instead. But I am planning on doing another little station further around, so I can use either design to build it. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, there's 2 tracks. Then I've got a nice siding on this side, which is long enough to hold 3 wagons or trains. Because it's on a curve though, and there's not enough clearance to hold diesel locos or coaches in that area. So yeah, I'll just keep that out of the way. Finally, moving around, moving on to what will become a pub or a guest house, which is it's actually made from, I actually found it in possibly a Hallway magazine, maybe a year and a half ago or so. It was one of these kits you cut out and stick onto card, cut it out and then build it like a normal car kit. But yeah, I built that myself. I think it comes out okay. There's no windows in it. At that point, I just didn't know how to do windows very well and so on. Unfortunately, I stuck it down, so I can't really move it to fix that problem. But oh well, I'll be absolutely fine. Moving around a bit more. Just checking the camera, you can see everything. Yep. Moving on to the my river scene, which I did a little while ago. Did a tutorial on that, so if people are interested, I'll actually put a link so you can go and see how I make that. But basically, it's just some banks made from paperwood, I meant to say, painted on with some wire wool, bit of static grass on there as well, and then I used PVA glue for the actual water, and I think that came out okay. So moving around again. There's not much really to say about this corner. We're coming on to more of the field and country area. You can just see a road in the top corner, top left corner. Next to that road I'll be adding a hill like on this side of the track that you can see. Yeah, sorry about that interruption then. Yeah, that's on my phone forward slide. There we go. Yeah, I'm building a hill on the far side, and I build it to look like the hill on the front side. Very simple done. Just cardboard, PVA glue, and well, I usually use newspaper or kitchen roll to make to give it a solid coating. Then just paint over it, static grass, and then finally hedges, trees, fences, things like that. So very simply done. But you'll see that in a later update video. So moving around here, just saying the centre of the screen is actually a streamline point, and on the left hand side of that point is a track which you can just see, which disappears off into that tunnel beyond those 2 trees. Now that piece of track there comes out, you can't see it, I'll point just there, and I will be joining up to the piece of track behind me which you saw earlier on, that came down the helix. It's got no scenery around it or anything. But anyway, I'll just talk about this for a minute. So here we've got my longest sidings on the layout. As you can see, there's 2 of them, and the main line runs down the middle of them. They're actually on 3 different levels, as in the terrain is at 3 different heights. So the top one is the lowest, and the one closest to the camera is the highest. So yeah, so that's just quite a nice feature. You can't really tell from this angle, but when I do different angles of locos running, you'll see that quite obviously. The back hill is actually a tunnel. You can just see the tunnel mouth next to the two trees. Well, there's two trees in a row going away from us, sort of in the middle of the screen. And that's actually standing on top of a tunnel mouth, which you would have seen in a previous update a few months back or something like that. But that's actually covering a tunnel, which all the scenery is under. I did a video on how I build the scenery, so I'll just put a link to that somewhere on the screen so you can go and view that. I will move down to the side closest to us. Again, it's the exact same what I did. It's not quite as many bushes on here. I'm going to add a few more trees and a couple of bushes this side. This is more farming land, so I don't know, I might be putting up a fence or something like that to maybe penning animals, something like that, I'm not quite sure yet. And moving around, you can see just a couple more bushes and trees. You actually see the shelter there that's holding a model tractor, a Fordson Major, I think. I can't remember what it said in the packaging exactly. Fordson Major, yeah. Looks quite good in there. It's built from matchsticks and just a cardboard roof. I built myself. I showed you how I did that in an update a couple back. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it is in an update somewhere. So yeah, finally I move around and we go back to the start. I'll stop at the station actually. So yeah, that there is a layout tour. It's about 10 minutes long, that video, 12 minutes long, something like that. Hopefully there's a nice bit of depth in there for anyone who hasn't seen my full layout before. I will be adding quite a lot of links to other videos if you wanted to see how did I build that or something like that. I'll be just putting links in the screen, just click on them, you can go and view that. I know you might get some tips or anything. If you've seen anything that you're not quite too sure about or want to ask questions, then just add a comment. There's quite a lot of stuff which you've seen which you may have never seen in an update before. That's because I've been doing quite a bit of work and I haven't put out an update yet. But I will be doing one soon. I am sort of, I'm thinking about it. I've just got to get to a good stopping point and then I'll do an update. But that's all to come later on. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any comments about this or any of my other videos, then just leave them below. Just remind again about the 150th special video. I'm going to be starting the channel suggestions for you to go and view. I'm actually going to be starting that this week, and I might be putting sort of breaking them down to blocks of 3, and then sort of putting up maybe one a week, one block of 3 a week or something, just so I can start getting through, because I've actually got quite a few that I want to recommend, and quite a few people have asked me. Anybody who's asked, I will be sending you an email at some point this week. If you could just reply to that, it'd be really helpful. But anyway, that's all to look forward to. So yeah, I'm going to say it one more time. Thanks for watching. Check out my channel. As I said, there'll be links to everything so you can go and find what you want. And hopefully I'll catch you again soon.